Art is produced in stillness and turmoil. It latches onto and encases our hearts.
During the pandemic, when we were all stuck in our homes, I felt like I was stuck in my mind. I felt like I wasn't really doing anything to better myself and was instead at a standstill. I decided that I would do something to feel like I was moving forward, so I chose art. Art is something that I've always loved. I used lockdown as a time to advance my art skills. Throughout the pandemic, I went through mental and emotional hardships. This is evident in the way my art changed. I've matured and aged throughout this pandemic and gone through rough patches. So has my art. It has aged, matured, and been reborn. I now know it is important that I find my own way to grow and move through this new abnormal.
Art drags us out of seas of loneliness and societal pressure. The lens is focusing in on the movements we make.
Focus. These past few years have been anything but that. Time has moved too fast. It feels as if a year ago I just began high school. Now I'm graduating. Time feels out of focus. My emotions racing, completely out of control. Am I doing anything with my life? Why do I look like this? My emotions are out of focus. Is this life? Is this living? Feeling caged in my own home? These feelings of animosity, hate, and disgust. My life is out of focus. So what did keep me in focus? Hearing her sing about wanting to be the focus of her partner. Hearing Jill Scott live in her life like it's golden. And hearing Estelle and Kanye being perfectly in sync with each other, and many other artists help me keep in focus.
Our movement shows us a value, an appreciation of the things we once took for granted, our opportunities and nightmares.
One way I navigated during COVID was baking and cooking. I found myself always making something, which got my mind off of everything that was going on in the world. I live in a neighborhood where people don't wear masks. I feel like it is a good measure to take precautions, get vaccinated, and wear masks for the safety of others. I feel like it is important to rest your mind because it helps me to perform better. And one thing I have learned about myself is that it is okay to take a break and to relax, and baking and cooking have helped me to do that.
Before the pandemic, I was like any ordinary teenager with insecurities, bad time management skills, lack of motivation, and I felt very miserable. The pandemic was the best time of my life, but also a living nightmare. During online school, I made more friends than I had before. My family helped me, and my interest in photography saved me from complete isolation. What I love about filming and photography is that you are in control of the lens point of view. So it's the small details in life that help you push forward, and that is how I survive the new abnormal.
Poetry has been an irresistible outlet for me. It practically poured from me during the pandemic because inspiration was easily available. I wrote about all kinds of topics, most specifically inner turmoil with news and events that were being projected to viewers daily. My writing style changed as well. It included elements of nostalgia and yearning for a bygone era, things that I didn't really practice before. After the pandemic, I was able to share what I wrote with family and friends. We reopened lines of communication, and it helped us to stay connected and to forge connections that did not exist or had withered. Poetry gave me arms to reach others and to process everything during this new abnormal.
Our chances to create unique solutions for adverse problems have matured us. When we felt fearful of the loss and pains, art gripped us and held us.
During the pandemic, I was not able to see my grandparents for almost 2 years, but thanks to technology, I was able to continue cooking with my grandparents every Saturday through Zoom calls and talking on the phone. This allowed us to continue our creative expression by creating delicious meals together and making the new virtual world more acceptable and easier to adapt to.
The competition season was cut short, and attending my daily dance classes on Zoom gave me a sense of normalcy in this new abnormal time. I used the back of a chair for a makeshift bar during Zoom ballet class, and I didn't realize how much I had taken dance for granted before the pandemic. Even though navigating through mask wearing and social distancing was challenging, the overarching theme of the season was appreciation. Returning to the studio and being with my friends provided me with comfort. I carry this new appreciation with me every day.
Before COVID, I was tearing things up with my boys back in California. Boom, COVID hit. I got kicked into online school. I couldn't just stay in my house, so I developed a new hobby of working out. I used to work out with my dad in the morning and take bike rides with him and my brother. We used to work out in the living room. The worst part of COVID was I didn't get to say goodbye to my friends because in the middle of the pandemic, I moved from California to Memphis, and therefore I didn't get to say goodbye to them in person.
We faced the inner turmoil of virtual reality with outreached hands to one another, hands reaching toward our keyboards and screens. Nothing about that was conventional.
Rolling into change, a new world, transforming into an engulfing fire. Thrown into a spiral of chaos, everything was in the negative pyre. Isolation, fear, spreading disease, battling with hope, patience, new desire. Too much was foreign. More time, more work, more emotions led me to a forest of confusion, searching for something to inspire. After a crescendo of flaming waves, water cascaded into a situation so dire. Thoughtfulness and introspection calmed my calamity. It gave me something to aspire. The familiar mixed in with the new, and my spirit started to soar higher. Now, a challenger ready to conquer, I saw the changes as new traits to acquire.
Lockdown provided valuable time to consider my aspirations as an artist and musician, and it gave me more hours to work, which meant my art style became increasingly unique. And as a jazz pianist, having already been one, I added the organ and improved my improvisational skills. The time spent on music during one of the most challenging events in our generation's history was invaluable.
As the last 2 years have been unconventional, so has our art that speaks through us. Its dark and hues splattered across the frame redeems us. For in our confusion and fear, we became soaring spirits as we tell the story of how we navigate the new abnormal.